Not only are Disney and Lucasfilm focusing on Episode 9, the final installment of the Skywalker saga, but also, of course, the new Star Wars trilogy, which is right now their priority in order to really expand the Star Wars franchise. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, a lot of people are very curious about these set of Star Wars movies that are going to be developed by the creators of Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, and it's really raising a lot of questions on whether or not it's going to be based within the Old Republic, since these Star Wars movies will be catered to the hardcore fans and will be based within the Star Wars mythology. Even Emilia Clarke has said before in the past that it's going to be Star Wars on acid. Now, what's really intriguing about the new trilogy is that you guys may have heard a couple of weeks ago that they are trying their very hardest in order to connect this trilogy to the sequel trilogy in some way, shape, or form. Now, what's really interesting about all of this that's raising a lot of concerns is that this is, of course, causing some production delays in the writing of the actual script pre-production, and that it's actually going to be moved over from March of this year all the way to the summer of 2019. And this is raising a ton of questions on whether or not this is really going to alter the release date of the first movie within the new Star Wars trilogy, also known as the Fourth Trilogy. Now, I will say, it seems as though that Disney and Lucasfilm are really kind of mixed on exactly what they want to do with the Star Wars franchise and what direction they really want to go to. You know, we do know that they're trying their very hardest to connect this new trilogy to the sequel trilogy in some way, shape, or form. And what I mean by that necessarily is that some of the characters could very well be connected to some of the other characters in the either new trilogy or the one by Rian Johnson or whatever he's trying to develop as well. Basically, they're trying to bring Star Wars in a completely new direction without actually detaching itself from the Skywalker saga entirely. Now, we do know that Episode 9 serves as the final installment of the Skywalker saga. They won't be exploring that bloodline anymore. But if they want to keep everything connected together, there have to be some references here and there in the Fourth Trilogy / new trilogy by the Game of Thrones guys, right? So in order to do this, a lot of changes are being made, and that's causing quite a number of, delays within pre-production when it comes to writing the script, and that they won't actually begin writing this thing until the summer of 2019 this year. And like I say, it's raising a lot of concerns on whether or not this is actually going to pretty much delay the release of this new trilogy. We do know that as of right now, there are no plans for a 2020 movie. So basically that means no Star Wars movie after Episode 9 until at the very least 2021, unless we go into Star Wars Celebration and out of nowhere they surprise us that, we're going to actually be developing this or that movie, over the summer, and that's going to actually have a nice release date in the very end of the year of 2020. That could happen, but I think it's very unlikely because we would have heard about something by now, right, about a new Star Wars film in the works. So, at the very least, alright, if this does cause a major delay or a major, I guess you could say, release date change, we may not even see a Star Wars movie for 2 years, if that actually turns out to be, the worst of the worst case, right? So if we look at the Fourth Trilogy, I still think that they're going to be able to write this thing and get it all done and over with before they want to begin filming, I would say, in the beginning, or I should say the end of 2019 into the beginning of 2020. So with that being said, we're not going to probably be hearing too much about the Fourth Trilogy over the summer leading into the end of 2019 because they won't even begin writing this thing until the summer. However, we will be learning a little bit more about it at Star Wars Celebration. It could very well be a title reveal. It could be the general idea of what it's going to be and exactly when they actually do plan the shoot. When we say summer, it could mean June, July, August, or maybe even the beginning of September, technically. So, with that being said, guys, what do you think about the Fourth Trilogy so far? Because to me, I think it sounds very intriguing how it's really going to cater to the hardcore fans, and that they are trying to find ways in order to connect it to the sequel trilogy in some way. Like I say, it could be references, in the films. They could reference Luke Skywalker, Kylo Ren, or maybe even Rey as legends. It could be something as simple as that. And all of those different attempts at connecting it to the sequels are just causing some pre-production delays into the summer of this year. But like I say, Episode 9 really does tell us the future of the Star Wars franchise. It all depends on how well Episode 9 does. So I think that, the smart move right now is to not even film these Star Wars movies until they see exactly how well Episode 9 does at the box office and how well it sits with the Star Wars community. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.